Good evening. This book is called Everyone Knows What a Dragon Looks Like, and it was written by J. Williams and illustrated by Mercer Mayer, or Mayer and Mercer, doesn't matter. Okay, once upon a time, not so far ago, there was a city called Wu, and Wu was a grand city between two large mountains. South of the city of Wu was the Great Plains, where the wild horsemen lived. And to the north was the land of China. Now, the city had only one gate to get into. It was a big gate with a big road under it. It needed a sweeper. And it just so happens that there was a young lad called Han in the city of Wu that had no family, no mother, no father. He was an orphan. And so the city took it upon themselves to give him a small hut. They offered him a single bowl of rice each day and a single cup of wine. We hope it was watered because he was very young. And that's what he got: the hut, the rice, the wine, in exchange for sweeping the road under the gate that went into the city of Wu. Now, Han was a delightful young child. He always had a bright word for everyone who went through the gate, and he often whistled while he was working. Hi there, have a good day. One day, a messenger arrived, and he came up to the gate, and he went, I need to see the Mandarin. I need to see the chief. Take me to your leader. And Han calmly said, okay, come this way. I'll take you to the Mandarin, whose name is Jade Tiger. And when the messenger got to the Mandarin, he threw himself down on his knees and he said, the wild horsemen are coming. They're going to attack our city. We're all going to die. And the Mandarin went, is that so? Oh my goodness. Well, he called his counselors. I sometimes have trouble remembering who his counselors were, but let's see. There was a wise woman, there was the chief of the merchants, there was the chief of the army, and there was the chief workwoman. Those were his wise counselors. And the Mandarin asked, what are we going to do? Well, the wise woman said, there are 4 things we can do. She looked through her books, and she said, the first thing we can do is we can fight. So the captain of the army stood forward, held up his sword, said, what an excellent idea. We all know how to carry our swords. We all know how to wave our swords. We can stomp our feet, and we know how to shout in a fearsome manner. Ah! But actually, we don't know how to fight. Oh, okay. Well then, secondly, said the wise woman, we can run away. Well, we can't run south because that's where the wild horsemen are, so we're going to have to run north. Well, the leader of the merchants, who had a bag of money that he constantly jingled, said, if we go into the land of China to the north, they'll cut off our heads. Said the man, we don't want that. Okay, what is one of the other options? Thirdly, said the wise woman, we can surrender. Well, said the chief of the workwomen, surrender? Are you kidding? The wild horsemen will in fact just cut off our heads. Oh, well, what's the 4th thing? Asked the Mandarin, not really very hopeful at this time. And the wise woman shrugged and said, well, we can pray to the great cloud dragon. Mandarin said, that seems like the best option. So, from that moment on, there was gongs sounding in the city, gong, 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 and incense rising into the air as everyone got down on their knees and prayed to the great cloud dragon. The next morning, Han was sweeping the road under the gate when a very small and very fat man with a walking stick came through the gate. And the fat old man said to Han, good morning, and Han bowed and and said, I hope your honorable stomach is feeling well this morning. Well, said the little old fat man, will you take me to the ruler of this city? And Han said, well, I'd be happy to take you, but right now he's very busy praying to the great cloud dragon. I know, said the little old fat man, leaning against his stick. I am the dragon. And Han looked at him and he opened his eyes wide, but you don't look like a dragon. And the little old fat man sighed and said, I know. Have you ever seen a dragon? Well, Han said, no, and he opened his eyes even wider. So the little old fat man said, you see? Okay, I'll just take you to the mandarin. Yes, well, there we go. So, Han brought the little old fat man to the mandarin, and the mandarin and his advisors had just finished a breakfast of 72 eggs, 6 dozen eggs. Just reading this story, every time I think of that, I feel sick, okay? That's just too many eggs. There was only 5 of them, 6 of them, and they had rice as well, and they were just finishing off with some cups of tea. The mandarin looked at the little old fat man and said, Han, who is this person that you brought before us? Sir, said Han, opening his eyes wide because he still was very impressed, this is the dragon. The mandarin said, don't be ridiculous. He's simply a little old fat man who's dragging dirt on my really fine carpets. What is the meaning of this? What do you want, fat man? Well, said the fat man, I've come to help you. But if you want a dragon to help, you must speak politely. You must give the dragon a little bit of food, perhaps a glass of wine, and above all, you must be polite and kind to this dragon. Look here, said the mandarin. Everyone knows what a dragon looks like. A dragon looks like someone wearing gold and purple robes, and who's clearly very powerful. Yes, in fact, dragons look like me, a mandarin. Don't you agree, Chief of the Army? Well, sir, said the Chief of the Army, standing up straight, brushing rice on his uniform. Actually, sir, everyone knows that dragons are extremely fierce and actually shiny and have, you know, they're like me, a captain of the army. Well, not at all, said the leader of the merchants. Dragons actually have scales that jingle like the coins in this purse, and they're bright and shiny like coins, and they have power because they have these shiny scales, right? In fact, dragons look like me, Chief of the Merchants. Well, the Chief of the Workwomen said, come on guys, no, dragons are powerful. They're huge. They can do anything. They have enormous muscles. They look like me, the chief of the workwomen. And then the wisest of the wise women rolled her eyes and said, no, everyone knows, and in fact I've got 47 books that say so, that dragons are the wisest of the wise, and therefore they're like me, the wise woman. And just as they were having an argument about this, there came some screams and some shouts from outside, and another messenger arrived and fell on her knees and yelled, oh, they're here! I mean, they're just outside the gate. They're shouting, and there's a big cloud of them, and it's scary. Well, everyone rushed out to see what there was to see. And sure enough, there was this cloud and a lot of the sound of horses moving. You couldn't see anything because the cloud of dust that was rising, occasionally there'd be a flash of sword in the sunlight as one of the horsemen raised his sword, but there was really nothing to see except they were not far away. So the Mandarin went into his palace and hid under his bed. Now the chief of the army simply said, "Come on, men, raise your swords and let's go." And they stampeded off to the barracks where they hid under their beds. And subsequently, everyone else ran off and found a place to hide, except of course for Han and the little old bald fat man. "Oh," said that man, little old bald fat man, "if you will treat me courteously, I'll save the city. I need something to eat, I need something to drink, and I'd like to be spoken to politely and kindly." "Well," said Han, "I'll be happy to share with you what I have." And since they were already at the gate, he showed the little old fat man his hut, and he welcomed him into his hut, and they had to sort of creep down low because it was a low hut, and he gave him some of his bowl of rice, and he gave him some of his wine, and the little old fat man said, "Well, you know, I'm not impressed with anyone but you. You're the only one who's nice in this whole city. And I'll save the city for your sake." So he went out to the gate, and without another thing, he puffed himself up, he puffed out his cheeks, and he roared a wind. And all of a sudden, there was no more cloud, there was no more horsemen. They were all blown away by this fantastic wind. And suddenly, there was total silence. There was the occasional horse stumbling around, and there was the occasional wild horseman who fell off his horse during the wind, but there it was. The city of Wu was saved. "And now," said the little old fat man, "I will show you what a dragon looks like." And he got bigger and bigger, and his nails grew, and his teeth grew, and his mouth got long, and fire came out of his mouth, and he leapt up into the air and flew away. Han went to the Mandarin and told him what had happened, and the entire city celebrated. In fact, they made a great fuss over Han. They gave him money, which he liked his job, so he took the money. They gave him medals. He liked his job, so he went back to work. He fixed up his hut. He ate a little bit more, and the city of Wu returned to normal.